Everyone, welcome back to another edition of No Holds Barred here at the Toronto Sun. Rob Wong, as always, joined alongside by Postmedia wrestling writer Jan Murphy, and we are pleased today to be joined by the WWE United States Champion. You can see him as part of the SmackDown brand. It is Jacob Fatu. Jacob, thanks for joining us today, man.
Man, I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you, Oos.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year, man. We're coming up on that one-year anniversary with WWE. Yeah. When you look back at these last 11, 12 months, what has it been like for you on this rocket ship to becoming the U.S. champ?
You know what? Happy you asked that. I could have had done it if it weren't for, our co-workers, everybody who I work with in the ring. I don't want to sound like I just been over here running through things because, it always takes two to dance and, it takes two to, to get this thing going. So overall, man, thank you for bringing up the debut, man. I'm very excited about that, actually, man. So like you said, it hasn't even been a full year yet, but it's been crazy, though, man. It really has. It's been, man, just mind-blowing. But to be out there with, my family, especially to do it with my family, it's a whole nother look. Very happy about it. But man, brother, I think we're just now getting started though.
Jacob, I'm really curious, as somebody who was born and basically raised into this business, what is your earliest professional wrestling memory? What is the first thing you remember in your life?
Yokozuna. I lost his belt backstage. Yeah. And Earl Hebner found it. It was by the catering. I don't know. I was young, and I was just running around. That's crazy you asked that, man. I was just thinking about him the other day. And, when he had won the Royal Rumble, I'm from Sacramento, California. And when he won that Royal Rumble, it happened in Sacramento. So very special. But definitely one of that. I lost the belt, and my dad was like, flicking me in the ear. You know what I mean? Like, man, where the belt at? And I was a kid. I just remember my uncle wasn't even tripping. He was just laughing, and I will never forget when Earl came in with the belt, and my uncle was like, "See, it's all right, man." It was like, "Where'd you find it?" I will never forget what he said. He was like, "It was by the cookies and the sodas over there in the catering." Yeah, so yeah, that's one of my earliest ones. But that was actually my favorite time in wrestling. That's actually how I got introduced to everything. It was around that time. My uncle Rikishi and the Great Samu, the Head Shrinkers, man, my uncle Alpha. So that time, man, especially for me to be young like that, man, just all the different characters they had, man, that's what I was really into. So it wasn't the Attitude Era. It was Yokozuna and the Head Shrinker years and the Undertaker years, And not only that, man, Yoko and Taker used to have, amazing matches, man. So definitely that, man. Thanks for asking that. I never told nobody that.
When you fast forward all these years and you get to be part of and watch the Bloodline, which brought the Samoan family to the absolute top of professional wrestling, the biggest time ever in history. What was that like to see that unfold and watch all your family members just become this larger than life storyline, maybe the greatest ever told?
Man, when you're sitting there talking about that, I'm getting goosebumps, man. I just said this in the interview before this. Like, I am such a huge fan of my family, of Roman Reigns, of Jimmy Uso, of Jey Uso, of Solo Sikoa. Like, you gotta remember, I was watching these guys, when the whole Bloodline thing started. And, man, I would throw barbecues, man. I would hang out. Some of my friends that didn't even know wrestling, man, what you doing, man? I'm watching my family over here, and some of where I used to live, a lot of my neighbors didn't know what I did. They just always see me walk out of my house with a suitcase and come back, But man, it was mind blowing, man, because I felt it. And man, for what they're doing, for what Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Solo, Paul Heyman, what? Man, man, you getting me hyped up right now. So when you were asking me, I was actually getting goosebumps right now, because I remember not being employed. I remember still having a year or two on my contract, where I was at. And I just remember watching those guys, and man, those guys gave me hope. They gave me hope to make it out, and I love it. I love it, bro, because I feel it. And, if they don't feel it, then the fans don't feel it, But when you talking about storytelling to the greatest, oh brother, yeah, they the ones right there.
So what's that like? Because you're watching from afar, right? And you're thinking, man, if I ever get the chance, like, the things that I could do with those guys. But I imagine even just, with the familial ties, there's a lot of pressure, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
lot expected of a guy like you. Did you feel that, or do you still feel that pressure? Kind of representing the family name and being a part of these storylines.
Yeah. It's man, like what Solo says, Solo always says, man, you got to pull your own weight. You know what? We're not little no more. So man, it took a lot. It took a whole lot of people to get me here, man. I'm not gonna act like Jacob just got here by myself. No, like it took a lot of people, man. We talking about behind the scenes. We talking about the legal team, man. We talking about TR, man. Like everybody. So for me to sit there and like be a part of it now, man, it's mind blowing. Yeah, I know I keep saying mind blowing because man, sometimes I mean, just the WWE logo by itself to show up to work, man, to see my face on the truck, to see to hear the world chanting our last name, not my last name, me, Solo, and the Usos. We all have we're all Fatus, So it's man, it's real cool, man. It really really is, man.
The last time I remember someone coming in and making the kind of impact that you've made, in my estimation as a fan, was Roman Reigns. I see you, and I see so much of a young Roman Reigns, except even more physical, even more dynamic.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, you have a chance to qualify for Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
which would give you the opportunity to go out and get that world title. What does that mean to you?
Once again, man, Jacob's in a position, to where, I mean, man, first of all, we got to look at Andrade. What? Man, badass. Mello. Man, Mello ain't been missing so far. You know what I mean? So, man, to actually be a part of that match. I mean, man, just to be a part of a Money in the Bank match, like a qualifying match. Come on now, But I'm very excited though, man, for tomorrow. My first time I'm actually out there ever in that city. Not only that, man, it's just to see we all got three different styles. But I worked on Andrade before, worked against Mello. But man, now it's I feel like tomorrow, man, the floor is ours. And with Solo being in it, not only that, man, with it being in Los Angeles, where I trained at,
Yeah.
man, it just doesn't get no better, man. Nervous, will I say? Always gonna be nervous before you walk out. And this just goes back to what you said earlier, Rob. Do I feel like it's big shoes to fill? Like, yeah, in a way, but also in another way, like what Hunter said. Hey, man, just do what you've been doing to get you here. And I love the way how Hunter just, he reaches out. Like, hey, we ain't here to change how you wrestle. We ain't here to say none of that. All right. You do what you've been doing. Okay. We rather tell you bring it down than rather us tell you to turn it up. You know what I mean? So, man, it's a whole nother vibe over there. And I think right now, and I always say this, people say, Jacob, you should have been here 5 years ago. No, 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 no. Jacob wasn't ready 5 years ago. Okay. And I'm just gonna keep it 100. Jacob could have been fired right now, if I would have came in. I think the timing was perfect, because man, because when the bloodline thing stopped, it was like, damn, where we going? Like as a fan, I'm excited for it. But
Yeah.
man, just the way how everything worked, Tonga Lord, then man, come on, man. Now JC's there. So all the way around, man, it just works in full circle. I'm just glad, I'm just glad to be here, man. I'm real happy to be a part of WWE right now, man.
All right. Well, last one from me, Jacob. One of my favorite things about watching you is the pre-match promos, and you do it a lot differently than other people do, right? Where you're talking straight to the camera, and then you walk through Gorilla and out for your entrance. Where did that idea come from? Because we don't usually see that with a lot of people. Maybe they're talking to an interviewer before the match, and then we see the cutaway and then the entrance. But it's you just straight from behind the scenes through Gorilla out there. Whose idea was that?
It was creative. You know, one of our OGs back there, Curse, man. He's been looking out, and I think it came from creative. Um, I was nervous when we first started doing it because it's live. But once again, hey, be yourself, Jacob. All right. And I'm using a lot of Bay Area terms and terminology to where, I know people don't really understand what I'm saying, but, it sounds good. They just don't understand what I'm saying. But I think the walk and talk has I really enjoy doing it. But you know who's been killing it though lately is Big Jim. Big Jim been killing that walk and talk lately. You know, actually when we just worked him in Phoenix, man. You know, and once again, this is all learning. This is for me learning from my, from my big bros and them, man. Just, you know, if we could visualize it, we can do it. You know, like I could visualize I could do a backflip, but I wasn't expecting to do it like that. You know, so man, you just put your mind to it, man. Everything come out great. But thank you for asking that, man. I really enjoyed the very first one I did. I was real nervous, but man, they went live, and that's one thing about WWE. You know, hey man, when that red light turn on, yeah, it's just time to turn that thing on. So I really enjoyed doing it. I ain't done one in a while, but I really enjoyed doing it though.
Just a comment for me to end here, Jacob. I've been watching wrestling since I was probably 4 years old. I'm almost 50. Takes a lot now for me to get excited about someone.
Yeah.
And when you come out, I get excited because I'm never sure what you're going to do, and I think you're absolutely crushing it. And I see only huge things. So
I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys. Hey, man, last year nobody wanted to do no interviews or anything with me, and so this year, man, just thank you guys for having me, man. I really appreciate it.